Just outside of Huntsville, Alabama, something terrible happened that no one saw coming. Martell Holt, a well-known TV personality, was involved in a shocking high-speed car accident. It wasn't just a minor crash. It was one of the worst scenes first responders had ever witnessed.
Sadly, we are following two tragic breaking news stories tonight.
First, a terrible crash. Deputies say an SUV collided with an ATV are in critical condition tonight. The driver of the SUV was not seriously hurt.
His high-end SUV slammed into a concrete barrier with such force that the entire front of the vehicle was destroyed beyond recognition. From the outside, it looked like a tragic freak accident. But as more details began to surface, things started to look suspicious. The crash took place just a few days ago on a quiet stretch of highway. The road was smooth, the weather was clear, and there were no visible obstacles. Everything seemed normal until Martell's luxury SUV suddenly lost control. According to the first reports, his vehicle crashed straight into the barrier. Emergency crews said the wreck was so violent that the front end of the car didn't even look like part of a car anymore. It was completely mangled.
But ain't nobody said about a kid though. She said very clearly, she's talking about the wife, she's not talking about the children.
She said child. She said child.
She said child. She said child. She said Martell needs a DNA test.
Martell needs to go get a test.
That's what I didn't hear.
Why are you talking about it then?
If you want to mention somebody other than who you talking to, I think I'm talking about what I want to say. Hey man, get your hand out. Get your hand out. Get your hand out. Get your hand out.
Martell was trapped inside the twisted remains of his vehicle. Rescue workers worked quickly to pull him out and rushed him to the nearest hospital. Once there, doctors placed him in a medically induced coma to help reduce the trauma his body had suffered. He is still unconscious, and doctors are monitoring him around the clock. Family, friends, and fans are all holding on to hope that he pulls through. But as investigators started piecing together what happened, they noticed some strange things. First, there were no skid marks on the road. In most crashes, drivers try to brake or swerve, leaving tire marks behind. But in this case, there were none. It looked like Martell didn't even try to stop. There were no signs that he hit the brakes, tried to dodge anything, or lost control due to road conditions. That raised a red flag. So how does a skilled driver like Martell lose total control of his car on a bright, sunny day on a smooth highway with no traffic? It didn't make sense until more clues started to appear. Investigators turned to traffic cameras and surveillance footage from nearby stores and businesses. They wanted to understand what happened in the minutes before the crash. What they found added more mystery to the situation. Before the crash, Martell's SUV was seen on multiple cameras, driving smoothly through different areas of the city. But one detail stood out. Each time Martell's car appeared, a black Mercedes G-Wagon was right behind him. Not just nearby directly behind him, tailing him closely. This wasn't a coincidence. The G-Wagon followed Martell's car at a steady pace, matching every move. It weaved through traffic without falling behind, like it was determined to stay on his tail. This wasn't just something caught by one camera. Several different cameras captured the same pattern. The same black G-Wagon, keeping the same distance always in the background. For a while, it even parked behind Martell's SUV waiting, as if watching his every move. Just before the accident, both vehicles disappeared from camera view. There were no traffic cameras near the crash site, so what happened next wasn't recorded. But investigators were now convinced that this wasn't just an accident.
I know several women you've been with. Right. I know several women you've been with.
So here's the difference.
And I would suggest you stop talking so much about my What made you lose respect for me? Because what you're saying right now isn't even true. So I'm up here telling you what the truth is, and you still say that you have no respect for me. So I'm saying, okay, it must be something deeper.
Then came a key moment in the investigation. A woman came forward with new information. She didn't want to share her name, but she told police she had been driving just a few cars behind both Martell and the black G-Wagon when the crash happened. Her story gave the case a whole new direction. She said that at first, Everything looked normal. The cars were moving like usual. But suddenly, the G-Wagon swerved sharply and sideswiped Martell's SUV. That unexpected impact caused Martell's vehicle to veer off and slam into the concrete barrier at full speed. She described the sound as explosive, saying it was one of the loudest crashes she'd ever heard. The impact was so powerful that it shook her to her core, and she almost stopped driving out of shock. What scared her even more was what happened next. The G-Wagon didn't stop. It didn't slow down, check for damage, or try to help. It just sped off, disappearing within seconds. And the most chilling detail? The car had no license plates, not on the front, not on the back. Nothing. That's very unusual, especially for such an expensive vehicle. It didn't seem like a mistake. It looked intentional. With this new witness statement, the case changed completely. It was no longer about whether something went wrong with Martell's car. Now the question became, who caused the crash and why? Soon after, things got even more dramatic. Investigators received an anonymous tip that led them to a possible suspect. The tip said that LaTisha Scott, another public figure, and someone who used to be very close to Martell, had recently purchased a black G-Wagon. That raised a lot of eyebrows.
To say in all your interviews,
I don't have a lot to say.
Stuff, every time he opens his mouth and says something about Marceau, he gonna be talking about.
You never say about you. What you talking about?
Marceau knows about Martell, and Martell ain't gonna like that. About Martell, his family, what's going on, and all this stuff.
But the question was,
I know about you.
His text
Your
messages,
family.
his text messages, all the stuff he sent me about his girl, about who his girl's
Who
messing
is
with.
my girl? I don't have a girl.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll
And I
tell
ain't
you
had a
everything.
girl in 4 or 5 years. I go get my phone. You bring out your bring out my.
What the hell is about to happen here?
Although no official charges were made, investigators quickly brought Morrow in for questioning. He wasn't arrested, but the fact that he was being questioned created a storm of rumors and speculation. People started asking whether the timing of his new vehicle purchase was just a coincidence or something more. It turned out that Morrow had bought the G-Wagon just a few weeks earlier and hadn't yet registered the vehicle. That explained the missing license plates. Now investigators were going through the ownership papers to confirm if the vehicle that hit Martell was the same one Morrow had recently acquired.
doing that.
There's nothing that Martell's gonna bring out the phone.
Bring it out.
That's actually gonna show
It is.
Show what you gotta show.
Show it.
Show it. Show what you gotta show.
You show it.
No.
I'm
got your woman
about
too.
to go.
He the one talking about my family. What the talking about?
Show what you got in your phone.
You show what you was talking about. What you
I'm
talking
trying to
about?
between me and you.
Yeah, this is a conversation between me, you, and her.
Okay, show it.
Please show it. Oh,
Show
please
it.
show it.
Somebody
Please
show
show
it.
it.
I don't care. I don't
Why
want to
you
get
talking to me
7
then?
years
Hey,
ago,
hey,
you was
hey,
like,
why you talking
we
to me?
got proof. I said, show your proof.
Hey, still
We
ain't
ain't
got
got no proof. Don't hold this over my head. Hey, I got something.
Fans online immediately picked up on the story. Social media exploded. People began comparing old photos of Morrow's G-Wagon to the blurry images from the traffic cameras. Theories spread like wildfire. Some said it was a setup. Others believed jealousy might have been involved. One fan tweeted, "This wasn't an accident." Morrow was clearly jealous of Martell's comeback. Another asked, "Why hasn't Morrow been arrested yet?" Instagram posts flooded with comments like, "They better not try to cover this up." People started digging deeper into Martell and Morrow's history. Their friendship had started long before their fame. They were close friends and business partners. On screen, they were known for their bond, working together on projects and supporting each other through personal and professional ups and downs. But things changed when rumors of infidelity began to surface. Martell's affair was a major storyline on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and it caused a lot of tension. After that, whispers started circulating about Morrow possibly having his own secrets late nights, suspicious behavior, and problems in his own marriage. When Martell spoke out about it, Morrow fired back. What used to be friendly teasing became bitter arguments. Behind the scenes, producers said the atmosphere on set changed completely. The warm friendship cooled. On screen, jabs turned into real-life grudges. Some crew members even worried that the tension might lead to a physical fight during filming. In the weeks before the crash, things had become icy between them. They weren't speaking. People close to the production said it felt like a silent war. The question fans are now asking is, was this crash connected to that falling out?
You know that Martell, we've done. It just makes me feel that you don't care about your marriage.
No, Martell, we don't care about your words. So, feel free.
For what?
Because you think that you have something that can damage my marriage.
Oh no, I don't care if it damages your marriage or not.
Please
I don't
try.
Care. I don't. It ain't even about trying.
I'm begging you.
It just, I beg you time and time again
my thing is
to hush.
I'm not going to hush. I'm not going to tread lightly.
You just let me know.
Right.
You let everybody know how slow your wife is,
Yeah,
bro.
While the public debated and theorized, police were hard at work. Detectives began digging into GPS logs from both Martell's and Morrow's cars. They were checking the routes taken that day, comparing times and locations to match the vehicles seen in surveillance footage. They also pulled phone records and checked cell tower data to see if Morrow's phone had been in the area at the time of the crash. Authorities also started reviewing additional camera footage from homes and businesses near the crash site, hoping to track where the G-Wagon went after it left the scene. They were also examining Morrow's car for any signs of damage, dents, scratches, or paint from Martell's SUV. Any small detail could provide the link they needed. Meanwhile, Morrow stayed silent. He didn't release any public statements. No social media posts. Nothing. His lack of response only fueled more rumors. Some fans said he was being advised to stay quiet. Others believed his silence was a sign of guilt. Either way, people were watching closely. The production team behind Love and Marriage, Huntsville, also felt the impact. Filming has been put on pause. Some cast members are showing support for Martell, while others are distancing themselves, afraid that any comment could cause legal trouble. Everyone is waiting to see what happens next. The drama that once lived only on television has now spilled into real life. A man lies in a coma. A once trusted friend is under suspicion. A luxury SUV was nearly destroyed. And a black G-Wagon without plates may hold all the answers. At the center of this mystery are shattered bonds, hidden motives, and the possibility that something deeper has been going on for a long time. Was this just a tragic accident? Or was it something darker, an act driven by anger, revenge, or jealousy? Until Martell wakes up and is able to share his side of the story, all we have are questions. But one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. The truth is buried under layers of secrets, and only time will reveal what really happened that day on that quiet Alabama highway. What do you think happened? Was Martell being followed on purpose? Was the crash planned? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.